Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope we're all doing very, very well. Big up to yourselves. Apologies for being a few minutes late. Listen, better to be late and still turn up than not turn up at all. That's what I say. I'd rather walk a mile than not run, than not do it whatsoever. So there you go. There you go. Hope everyone's had a good Friday, and we're here for another Friday evening show, going through all of the latest Chelsea news regarding the club. We'll also be touching on the Nottingham Forest game. We'll touch on it briefly. To be honest, the real preview for Forest is going to be tomorrow. So I'll be going through that in a lot more detail. Kev's going to be jumping on the show tomorrow as well. That'll be very fun. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to support in another way, you can by becoming a member of Chelsea Fan TV. So that is an option if you want to do it. Let's go through the chat. Big up to Jordan. I hope you're doing well. Marc, Guehi. Now we're cooking some gas. Big experience. Make this happen. Fair enough. Good to see you, mate, on the stream, Jordan. Big up to you, Amir. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Finished work and just had some burgers for dinner and get a few of the old Milky Bars in. Can't beat him. Cannot beat him. And then nice cup of tea as well. I wouldn't say I'm promoting not drinking, but hey, alcohol free today. But I'll be honest, guys, I've really cut down. I don't barely drink now. This is why I'm eating all this chocolate to subsidize it. So if there's any sponsors out there that, I don't know, have chocolate, I'd love a sponsor for that. That'd be great. I'd eat that every day on stream. Big up to Jessica. I hope you're doing very well. Big up to Alex. Says Murillo's injured, but that's good. We'll certainly go through that. Big up to Daniel again. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Tyler, evening to you as well, my friend. Daniel says Chelsea ownership is so obsessed with Brighton. Can we stop signing players there? I'm with you on that, mate. I'm with you on that. Yusuf, hi, Alex. A lot of transfer news today. Wits to Liverpool, Cesco to Arsenal. Matoma and Leao to Bayern. Transfer gossip is always fun. Listen, it's interesting, isn't it? And I always say this. When I speak about these transfers, I'm not the source. I didn't write this stuff. So if you don't like it, fine. But this is what's relevant at the club at the moment. So I can pick some random story from elsewhere, any other club. I can talk about the under-21s. I can talk about the WSL, whatever you want to distract you from some of the links. These are the links. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. Don't blame me. Blame the recruitment. Blame the ownership. They're the ones that are linking us with these players. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll see what happens. Why Joao Pedro? We need a number 9. He's a number 10, right? He plays behind well back. We have Cole Palmer and a bunch who can play number 10. We'll have to wait and see. Min Trin. Big up, Alex. Am I still Maresca out? I am very much on the side of let's wait until the end of the season and then we can really discuss this. You know, I said this before the last game against United. Now is not the time to be talking about Maresca. Now is the time to have a bit of unity. I know that I've been very negative for large portions of this season. I'm not oblivious to it, but I think that there was genuine concern and reason to be negative on a number of fronts. But I'm not one of these people that I just hold on to the past. There's one guy I see him tweeting all the time. I'm not even going to say his name, but I see him tweeting all the time about how much better last season was than this season. And I agree in a lot of ways. I'm not saying that everything's, but towards the past couple of weeks, like things have been a little bit better. We've had a little bit more grit, and we're coming to a stage now where we could finish in the Champions League, and we could also win a cup. And if we win those two things by no stretch of the imagination, am I going to deny that that's a success? Because it is a success. It's what we expected, but we expect a lot of things and we don't achieve. And we expected to win the Premier League every year under Roman Abramovich. We didn't win it every year. So yeah, I think Maresca would deserve credit if we achieve those goals. Until then, I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I'm keeping my cards close to my chest. I think that's what people say in it. So I don't really have any thoughts on Maresca at this moment. I'm just waiting to see what happens, and then I want to break it down in full with Lewis, of course, because we've been disagreeing the whole season, haven't we? And then we can break it all down. Good to see you, like Milky Parsamir. Big up to you, CFC Football Edits. Good to see you, mate. Air 90 Run. Come on, you Blues. Good to see you. Everyone gets mad at Alex for reading off Twitter. Lol. They need to relax. Listen, I can't pick these sources from fresh air. I've got to get them from somewhere. And the great thing about Twitter is they give you the articles. So rather than me having to type it up, they're already there. You just need to know where to look. Big up to Rachel. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We will beat Forest. We're in this together. Then Betis. Let's hope. Gary Neville is panned. It's true. It's true. Right. Let's dive into it, shall we? In fact, how many likes are we on? This seems to be the thing I've got to do now. I've got to assess the likes. I always wondered why people did this, but otherwise people don't like the video. That's what I found out. So I'm going to remind you to like the video if you haven't already, in the nicest way possible. We've got about 70 of you in the building, got 21 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 45 likes. That's the magic number, isn't it? 45. And then we'll work our way from there. So smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's just imagine the amount of likes we get is the amount we spend in the window. So as it stands, we don't even have enough to sign Liam Delap. Give me the Osimhen money. I need it. Although I say that, we are going to be speaking about Osimhen. Unfortunately, those people who love the idea of Victor Osimhen coming to Chelsea, I feel like I'm going to disappoint you. That's just a pre-warning. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get cracking, shall we? This is the article. And listen, if you can't see from this, I mean, read the words. Is it not obvious? Well, unless you speak Arabic, it's not. So we're going to translate it. Al Hilal reaches an agreement with Nigerian international Victor Osimhen to represent the team for 3 seasons. Al Hilal is set to pay the release clause to his club Napoli in Italy. The final signing between the two parties is expected to be finalized in the coming days. Now, I'll be honest with you, I haven't got a clue who this is. This is presumably a famous journalist in Saudi. Yeah, Saudi journalist. There you go. Don't really know much else other than that, to be honest, because everything's in Arabic. But this is something that's been put out there. And yeah, it's come out saying, yeah, again, Chelsea Dodgers has come out and said this as well. Reports are coming out in Saudi Arabia that Victor Osimhen will join Al Hilal and a deal will be closed soon. If I'm not wrong, Mitrovic, when he signed for Al Hilal, was only on a 3-year contract anyway. So am I right in saying that? Is it only a 3-year contract? Mitrovic contract, Al Hilal. He's on 411,000 a week. Oh, God. His contract expires. Yeah, his contract expires June 30th. So Mitrovic will be a free agent, no? Am I right in saying that? So Victor Osimhen is going to be a direct replacement for Mitrovic. So he only signed, what, a 2-year deal when he signed for them? God. This is the thing when we've spoken about, Osimhen, and we have spoken about him a number of times. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be paid what you're worth. There isn't anything wrong with it. But when you're asking for a pay rise, which ultimately seems to be the only viable option if he's going to Saudi, like even if he wanted to be on the same money, he would have just stayed at Galatasaray. What a great experience it is playing for Galatasaray, the biggest club in Turkey. I mean, that's a fantastic experience. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, I just look at him and I think, not that I have lost respect, but it just seems like you're not really who we thought you were in terms of your legacy that you're trying to leave. And I'm not going to give a motivational speech to the guy. Do what you want. It's your life. I can assure a large proportion of us, well, I'm presuming most people in here have jobs. If you got offered double your salary or something like that, or, a 25% bump, you'd probably consider leaving your job to go to another job. And it's the same career. We're not asking you to change industries here. You can still do what you're good at. Yeah, I mean, that is where Saudi Arabia is right now. That they are just. It's not even. It used to be quite funny. It was like, oh, Saudi are just going to buy all these deadwood players, but they genuinely have. They're building a decent league. And I look at the Saudi league now, and I think, fair enough. Like, I know Charlie's obviously gone out to Saudi to watch the games out there. Now, when you look at some of the lower teams, you probably argue that the quality is quite poor. But I'm talking about the top teams here: your Al Hilals, your Al Ittihads, even Al Nassr, Al Ali. Some great players, some very nice players in there. It's a respectable league in that sense in terms of those 4 teams. I don't know how good Al Ettifaq is. I know they had a few players. Charlie, get in the pack. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, they said it's just a phone call away, didn't they? But I don't, yeah, more like that. Yeah. A phone call, $1 million a week. That sounds about right, doesn't it? And when you look at it like that, Nads, from a financial perspective, I mean, I'm not gonna criticize the guy, but this is about more than finance. This is about, again, we thought this guy was a Chelsea fan, and he wanted to play for Chelsea, and he wanted to be a Chelsea legend. His idol was Drogba. He wanted to be in part of our Premier League team. Seems like that's not really his priority. His priority is just making as much money as possible. And fair play to you. Like, honestly, you do that. Don't have an issue with it. We're not losing out to Osimhen for any other Premier League teams. We're not even going to miss out for European teams. So Saudi Arabia is not even going to play in the same competition. We're not even going to see him in the Champions League. He's going to play the Asian Cup. And that's it. That's it. So we can beg the guy to come to Chelsea, but the reality is he's not interested, is he? He's not interested. He doesn't want to come. And that's fine. That's how it is, isn't it? The Telegraph came out with a new article regarding the need for Champions League football to convince fans of Maresca's project. This is according to none other than Matt Law, who we've heard plenty of times. Lots of stuff around Chelsea over the years. It says failure to get in the Champions League would be viewed as a disappointment rather than a crisis inside Stamford Bridge. It says in this article that the team has progressed under the Italian head coach, but supporters want to see tangible results. And then I got locked out of the article because I'm not a member of the Telegraph. Okay, well, that was fun while it lasted, wasn't it? Wasn't it just? Unfortunately, guys, I'm subscribed to The Athletic. I can get a few decent ones, but I can't get the Telegraph. So that's my fault there. Nottingham Forest manager Nuno on Murillo. He says he's still assessing. He twisted his ankle and hasn't been able to train. Let's see tomorrow. Now, for me, this is a very positive sign. I'm not one to celebrate players getting injured, but I am one to celebrate players getting injured when they are our direct rivals, and those players can cause us some problems, whether that be scoring goals, creating goals, or affecting us and our ability to be able to score. So this is a very welcome injury for me. Obviously, it's not career-ending, so hey, I hope he stays injured. That's the way I see it. No disrespect. It's not personal, mate. But just stay injured, please, and then we won't have to worry about you, will we? Murillo as well. I'm surprised we haven't been linked with Murillo more, because we have been looking at centre backs, and he's young. He's done a very good job at Forest this season. His distribution looks to be really good. He's a big player, but we seem to be more intent on signing others, and we are going to, look into those. Now, earlier on in the lunch show, I didn't actually have enough time to go through everything regarding this article by Nazar Kinsella. It's all about the finances regarding Chelsea ladies and the situation. Obviously, we sold a football club, didn't we, to a sister company or whatever it was, or parent company. It says Chelsea are expected now to have enough financial headroom to spend on targets this summer, including a striker, winger, and central defender. One senior source believes the club will be aggressive in the market, whatever that means. We will be aggressive. And it goes on to speak about, obviously, we sold Chelsea women to ourselves, didn't we? It says, what is the future for Chelsea women? And again, if you want to reference this, you can. It's on the BBC. I don't know if you're able to read this if you're not in England. I presume you probably can. Let me know. It says Chelsea's domestic dominance has reached a new level this season under head coach Sonia Bonpasta, who took over from Emma Hayes last summer. The FA Cup win over Manchester United at Wembley completed an unbeaten domestic season and a second treble in 4 years. They have won 6 Women's Super League titles in a row. Osimhen, who's the new investor, described Chelsea as the queens of global soccer, who will become a billion-dollar franchise. As he watched Sunday's victory alongside wife Serena Williams, Bonpasta praised Osimhen's investment, saying it was about values and showed respect for the women's game and Chelsea's achievement. The 42-year-old has invested in women's football previously as the largest shareholder in American club side Angel City FC, until it was sold in 2024 for $192.3 million, the highest price for a women's sports team before this deal. Chelsea made it known publicly last summer they wanted to find a private investor for the women's team, and they had big ambitions for the future. They stayed true to their word, even if there are benefits for the men's team by breaking records in the women's transfer market and recruiting one of Europe's top coaches in Bonpasta. In January, the USA defender Germa joined Chelsea in a world record transfer for a female footballer. The fee was in the region of £900,000. The investment is significant for women's football in England and Europe. Selling minority stakes in a club has largely stemmed from the United States. Obviously, there's been a number of blah, 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 blah. basically about the value of the team. But I'll be honest, guys, it's not really relevant, is it? I'll be real. I mean, I am interested in it, but also at the same time, now is not the time. I will talk about the ladies and the valuations after the men's stuff is happening, because to be honest with you, I need to see who we sign. That is my concern. Can we sign some players? Can we beat Nottingham Forest? Can we beat Real Betis? Let's have a look. Let's see what else is out here. A striker will be the primary target for Chelsea, with the likes of Liam Delap, Benjamin Cesco, and Hugo Ekitike all on their list. So those are the strikers we're looking at the moment. These are all names that have gone around a number of times. But to be honest with you, we've missed one out, which is the one that seems to be, well, at least according to GE Global, it seems to be a striker that's red hot on our radar. And listen, I'm not a fan of this deal. I'm really not a fan of bringing in Joao Pedro. I understand why we're trying to do it. But this is a deal that I would have understood a lot more if we'd already tried to sign Delap and failed, or if we tried to sign Osimhen or Gyokeres and all these other guys and it hadn't gone through. It doesn't make any sense to me that this is a deal we're approaching early in the market. He's obviously looking at a move. There's been speculation from other teams for Joao Pedro, but I mean, it's just underwhelming, isn't it? It's such an underwhelming transfer. It's by a Brazilian journalist, so the article is actually in Portuguese, but we can get it translated. It talks about Chelsea's interest, or we've expressed an interest in signing Joao Pedro. It says we're already moving in the market to strengthen our squad with an eye open on the Club World Cup and with a Brazilian target, Joao Pedro. We've started negotiations with Brighton to sign the Brazilian national team striker and has signalled an offer of 60 million euros, about 50 million quid. The Blues are trying to speed up negotiations, both to get a head start on the competition and to have the 23-year-old in next month's competition in the United States, which will have a special transfer window from June 1st to June 10th. Talks are expected to intensify next week with the end of the Premier League, where Chelsea still have direct Champions League, have a direct Champions League spot to play for at Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Joao Pedro has been given a number of opportunities to play for Brazil and is on Carlo Ancelotti's shortlist. The forward has been involved in 17 goals with the Brighton team this season, 10 goals and 7 assists. Very important to understand. 5 of those goals were penalties. So only 5 out of the 10 goals were from open play. Everything else was from the spot. And he was nominated for the award for the best under 23 player in the Premier League. So, yeah, that is what they're saying about Joao Pedro at the moment. Henry, I agree with you, dude. We need a goal scorer. I mean, not that he can't score goals, but he's not a level above what we have. He's not, I just don't see what Joao Pedro brings to the table. I could get that, elsewhere from other players. I don't want to criticize him too much because that's not the idea here, but yeah. Listen, big up to everyone. We've got over 117 of you in the building. Only 46 likes, though. Let's get up to 75, guys. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's get straight up to 75 likes. We're on the road to 100. Road to 100 people. Let's just say in the next 10 minutes, however many likes we have is how many points we finish on. There's a good chance we finish on the same amount of points in terms of likes anyway. about 60 odd, close to 70. Okay. So that is the Joao Pedro link, which can't say I'm a massive fan of. Interesting news as well coming out from the Daily Mail. This is actually quite funny. It's about Gary Neville. So for those of you who haven't been up to date with what's been going on with Gary, basically he's been banned by Nottingham Forest. He's not allowed to go to the stadium for the last game of the season amid concerns Sky's lead pundit has a grudge against them. That's what the Daily Mail have said. Nottingham Forest have told Sky that their lead pundit, Gary Neville, was banned from the City ground for their defining game of the season against Chelsea in an unprecedented move. The Champions League chasers have requested that the broadcaster changes its commentary team, believing there will be a hostile welcome from fans following some aggressive messaging from Neville that they feel was aimed at diminishing the club's progress this season. Nottingham Forest move follows heavily critical points made by Neville on social media and a belief within the camp that the former Manchester United defender has a grudge against the club, its board, and its management. Nottingham Forest have formally complained to Sky about Gary Neville, with the broadcaster announcing his role in the Sunday Showdown a number of days ago. Since then, Forest have made their feelings clear. The Premier League is known to be aware of the situation. Mail Sport understands it is within the gift of all member clubs to decide who comes on their property, and so the league will not intervene ahead of a clash between two sides battling for a place in European football's elite competition. What a strange situation. I mean, that's just so strange, isn't it? Sky Sports have described Nottingham Forest's action as unprecedented and unwelcome. They have decided to revise their production plans and will now present from their West London HQ. It is understood that Neville himself has chosen not to be a part of the coverage with Sky's full backing. The broadcaster will still have a commentary team at the ground. It says, I was contacted by Sky Sports earlier on in the week and told that I would be commentating at the City ground on Sunday for the Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea match. Neville wrote on his Instagram on Friday evening, not this Friday, presumably. It would be last Friday. It wouldn't have been today otherwise. Yeah, it wouldn't make much sense. I've dished out my fair share of criticism and praise in the last 14 years of doing this job and have never come close to this unprecedented action. Personally, I think it's disappointing that a great club like Nottingham Forest have been reduced to making such a decision. Whilst they have every right to choose who they let into their own stadium, it's symptomatic of things that have happened over the last 12 months with the club. I wish the coaching staff, players and fans of the club all the best in their quest to achieve Champions League football. Neville triggered fury at Forest when he strongly criticised the owner, Evangelos Marinakis, for walking onto the pitch and exchanging words with manager Nuno Espirito Santo following a 2-2 draw with Leicester. That's when Neville put a tweet out basically saying it was scandalous from that Forest owner. Nuno should go negotiate exit tonight with him. The Forest fans, players and manager do not deserve that. Forest subsequently hit back with no punches pulled statement, which, without naming Neville, referenced fake news online and warned against baseless and ill-informed outrage of the purposes of personal social media traction. Neville alluded to the upset at Forest on his podcast this week, turning to the camera to sarcastically say, "Sorry, Mr. Marinakis," when joking about owners entering the pitch. That's mad, isn't it? Honestly, I'm not surprised he's been banned. The way he's just kept digging, hasn't he? He's gone a number of times. Rather than remonstrating with the manager over a disappointing result, Forest said Marinakis was instead concerned for Taiwo Awoniyi and over whether the serious abdominal injury the Forest striker suffered, which Mailsport revealed could prove fatal in some cases. He could have been handled better by the club's medical team after he remained on the field. The club then said, we urge former coaches and players and other public figures in the game to resist the urge to rush to judgment and fake news online, especially when they do not have the full facts and context, at least of all the injured player. So there's been a real beef between my God. Oh, no. Gary Neville also likened Forest's actions to those of a mafia gang. And then Marinakis confirmed that his lawyers had been in contact with Sky regarding Gary Neville, and it is not over yet. A statement posted on Sky Sports website read, in order to in response to a Nottingham Forest statement outlining their grievances with PGMOL. Following their match with Everton on the 21st of April, Gary Neville, commentating on Super Sunday, strongly criticised Nottingham Forest approach. Sky Sports have discussed with Gary the language used and its potential to cause offence. Gary has agreed not to use the same or similar terms in future coverage. Sky Sports apologises to Nottingham Forest for any offence caused by this language. Nottingham Forest declined to comment. Yes, I did say mafia. Gary Neville compared Nottingham Forest and the way they were run to the mafia. So I'm not even surprised, to be honest with you. I'm not surprised. Why the hell would they want that man commentating at the game? He's clearly just a bit of a prick from a Nottingham Forest perspective. I'm not saying he's Anthony Taylor like Taylor is for us, but sometimes there are people out there and you just need to say, you know what, fair enough. His commentaries are dire anyway. I know, we should be able to ban Anthony Taylor, wouldn't that? That would be great, wouldn't it? And then we wouldn't have any of these worries. We'd be fine. We'd be loving life. So I don't know. I just think it's quite funny, to be honest with you. I do think it's quite funny. Hey, got some breaking news for you via Paul Joyce. He works with the Times as it stands, and interesting little excerpt coming out. It says that Everton have made a pitch to Liam Delap about joining them. So it's not just Chelsea and United. We've also got strong competition from Everton. And isn't that great? By the way, I think he'd smash it at Everton. I think Everton would be a great move for him. In terms of like just joining a club where you're going to have stability. Good manager and David Moyes. Decent fan base. We'll see how it is at the Dickinson Stadium, whatever that is. What do they call it? The Dickinson Stadium. It's one of the worst names I've ever heard for a stadium. I mean, get the money, obviously, like, fair enough. But I quite like the name Bramley Dock. And now that they've changed it to the bloody what's it called? Oh, we've had another here we go as well. Have we actually? We had another here we go. Let's have a look. Yes, you're right. You are right. Jonathan Tah to Bayern Munich. Here we go. The German defender has agreed a deal. Bayern Leverkusen confirm they have been informed. Mad. Why did we not try and get this player? This would have been a great signing. Oh, God. I would have been all over. Well, I was all over Jonathan Tah. I think he would have suited us down to the ground, but you can't have it all, can you? You can't have it all. Some players are just destined for other opportunities, and two of those players that I wanted are now unavailable. Dean Huijsen, we've missed out to Real Madrid. Jonathan Tah has gone to Bayern Munich. There is only one more of those centre-backs that I wanted that is available. Marc Guehi. Please, Chelsea, do not bottle the third one. Please. Fair play. Don't even dispute that. I don't even think we gave him a project, to be fair. I don't even think we had. Yeah. Who was his team of the season? No Caicedo. Who did he put in instead? Jason Cundy would be cracking, to be fair. He would, but he wouldn't. I don't think he's already with TalkSport, all those other guys. So I doubt we'd be able to do Sky. That's a big commitment. He did call us $1 billion blue bottle job, so not really bothered. No, I think he deserves it. I really do. I think he deserves it. I agree. I honestly think that he had it coming. When you see all the comments that he made, he compared him to the mafia. He basically said Nuno should resign. He said he criticized the Forest owner multiple times. What did you expect? A hug? No, they're going to tell you to fuck off, mate. They do not want anything to do with you. This is not an American you're dealing with. It's a passionate Greek. The Greeks are passionate. Sometimes the passion is a little bit overboard, as we saw in Panathinaikos. I mean, I thought they were horrible. But Greece in itself is great. And I love the Greek people. I love their passion towards football. In fact, obviously, I'm going to Poland next week. The week after that, I'm going to Greece. So I'll be in Corfu. Still be streaming, obviously. I have done the brief for Rachel. She's not very happy. She don't want me to stream every day, but I said I will. So we'll see if I can get away with it. I said I'm bringing the mic, I'm bringing the webcam, I'm bringing the light. It's all coming. Stick it in the suitcase. 2 hours a day. It's not that much. Do an hour at lunch, hour in the evening. Just stay up to date with it. Why not? Yes, I prefer Guehi over Branthwaite. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I haven't got a problem with Branthwaite, but for me, Guehi I just visualize him in this squad. And I've spoken about it many times. I think Branthwaite as well is more expensive. How many years has he got in his contract, Ada? You tell me how much he's on, and you tell me how many years he's got in his contract, and maybe we can have a conversation. I'm not against Branthwaite. I'm not against it. Just Guehi's a preference at this moment. It's not even about free speech. It's about how unprofessional and demeaning he is to any team that isn't United. It's how shameless and biased his often nonsense commentary is. Fair. Gravenberch, Tielemans, and Gyokeres. I don't know if I would have put Tielemans ahead of Caicedo. Caicedo's been fucking unreal. Is Leone coming back to Chelsea Fan TV? No, I'm afraid not. But she said every now and again she might jump on and do an interview. So we discussed it before. Just a bit of fun, really. But I was happy to have her on. But she doesn't like to answer questions. She only wants to ask them. So obviously that means that I've got to answer them. And as long as I haven't got loads of people waiting for a fan cam, I can do that. It's not a problem. So 4 years for Branthwaite is on 60k a week. So that's realistic, but expensive, mate. Expensive. Wages we can do. We can double that. No problem. But the contract is a real issue. 4 years, mate. You're looking at 70 mil. Everton value him so high. United, I think they wanted like 70, 80 mil. So I don't think it's a realistic deal. Guehi's cheaper and makes sense to me. So yeah, I'd stick with Guehi, to be honest, mate. Oh, we've had a bit of a conflict here. What's going on? Jordan says 35. Aiden says 60. Which contract am I looking at, people? Are we talking about the same player here? Well, it's definitely Guehi. He's definitely not got 4 years on his deal. So where is this information coming from? We've got some interesting sources coming out, guys. Who are we going with? Are we going with Aiden or are we going with Jordan? I don't know who to believe. Are you a brown envelope? Okay, let's move on and we can find out about that later. We'll find out. We will find out. Apparently Rodrigo's been speaking with Arsenal as well, but they don't want to pay the wages. Surprise, surprise. But you think we do? Well, we're not even in the conversation. We are not even in the conversation. Arsenal are also in concrete talks with RB Leipzig regarding Benjamin Cesco. So Arsenal are negotiating with a couple of similar players to us. But it doesn't look like they're going to get either of those deals done. Maybe Cesco, to be fair. I could see Cesco potentially happening. I guess in an ideal world, maybe. This is a bit of a risky one, but Cesco, what's his name? Ekitike, Delap, all those guys, they get taken. All of them snapped up. Liverpool, Arsenal, United, Tottenham, all get new strikers. And then there's one left. Victor Gyokeres. And I wouldn't criticize that. I think that'd be fine. But I don't think it will happen. But I'd love it to happen. Yeah. Even though we're on course to bank £200 million windfall, a £200 million windfall, apparently we have no plans, Chelsea, to sign superstar players such as Real Madrid winger Rodrigo. The 24-year-old Brazilian has been linked with a £100 million euro move, to Chelsea in the Spanish media, but he is currently not targets. That's according to Sky Sports. They also spoke about our model. They said our model is very serious to PSGs. The idea is to build a squad of young world-class players who will develop together and challenge for major trophies next season. Sky Sports also came out and said Chelsea are planning on signing a striker, a centre-back, and a left-sided wide player. Targets include players such as Liam Delap, Benjamin Cesco, Victor Gyokeres, Alejandro Garnacho, Nico Williams, Joel Hatto, Marc Guehi, and Jared Brathwaite. Notice how Victor Osimhen's name is not even in the conversation. Rodrigo's name is not in there either. So if you're surprised as to why we're not going for these players, I mean, the names aren't even coming up. So I'm hugely doubtful that those players are going to come anywhere near. But I say that Gyokeres is in there, and he's probably the next best thing. So if we were able to sign Gyokeres, can anyone criticize that? I mean, that's a bloody good. That's a good player, man. If we can get that, then yeah. Good to see you on the stream, Kems. He says, I watched the Palmeiras game last night. And trust me when I say that kid, Estevao Willian, is something special. The world will be talking about him soon. I saw the goals. He scored the pen. Well, he scored after missing the pen. And then he scored a goal 2 minutes after. I mean, that was unreal. I didn't even realize the game was on Amazon Prime as well. I probably could have tuned in. So, yeah. $100 super chat the day after if Chelsea qualifies for the UEFA Champions League. Thanks, Teddy. That's very kind of you, mate. Well, I hope we do it then. I hope we do it, mate. Appreciate that. I'm not going to hold you to that because, to be honest with you, even if you don't do it, I still appreciate you watching. But that's a very generous offer. Let's hope we can do it, and we'll see what happens there. Big up to you, my friend. Oh, God. Figured out the colour of Leonie's there. She's ginger. She is ginger, mate. I'm sure she is. I've said this before. I'll ask her. I'll just send her a text. I will literally just ask her. I'll be like, what colour is your hair, Leonie? But I don't know if you're ginger, do you want to be ginger? It's not like fully ginger, but it's basically, I don't know. It's ginger, blondie, ginger, something. Meh. Can I pull up his GA? I would be honored to pull up Victor Gyokeres' GA. Like when we look at that GA, that is like, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? You don't mess around with that GA. Whew. Okay. Actually, sorry. Here we go. Ready? Starts off a little bit. Well, you think it's not great, but then you actually look at it and you're like, Jesus. Here's Victor Gyokeres' GA. I've got it. Here we go. Saga de Portugal, 24-25. That's obviously the Portuguese Cup. 6 games. 7 GA. Liga Portugal. Bet click. 33 games. 47 GA. You heard it. 47 and 33. Champions League, 6 and 8. Allianz Cup, 4 and 3. And the Super Taka, 2 in 1. Unreal. Everything except the Champions League. He has more goals and assists than appearances. That is unreal. You cannot deny it. It's unreal. This is a player who's 26 years old. I am desperate for us to get our hands on him. You know, we actually did put in an offer from last year. We did put an offer. We offered 80 mil and they rejected it. Can you believe that? Fuck, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is fucking world class, mate. Even in the Nations League, the guy's balling out. Champions League, look. Scored a fucking hat-trick against City. That was when Amorim was still the manager. Look at him in internationals as well. 3 GA, 2 GA, 2, 2, 4. Fucking hell. It's unreal, guys. In the first, how many game weeks is that? In the first 10 game weeks, there was only 1 week when he didn't score. Two G8, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 4. It's not impressive if it's only over one period, but these goals are spread out as well. Look at that. Look at that. It's unreal. Say what you want about the Portuguese league. Say whatever you want. I'm sorry. If you're not impressed, I don't know what to tell you. This is in the cup. Again, unreal. He's not just scoring against the small teams as well. He scored against Porto, scored against Benfica. Like, he's scoring goals against all teams, not just the small ones. It's impressive. It's really, really impressive. He's got another 2 assists against Porto as well. Unreal. He did lose his manager as well, and he's still performing. Be a fantastic signing. We're still talking about Leonie's hair. I will ask her. All right. I'll end this debate. I'll ask her. All right. Enough about Leonie's hair. Why does nobody care about my hair? Did anyone notice I had a haircut a few days ago? I didn't see any messages about that. That hit me hard. That hit me hard emotionally. You can't have it all, though, can you? You can't have it all. Right. What else have we got, guys? What else have we got? Apparently Garnacho could potentially fucking leave United, and I'm like, really? We're still being linked with this guy? Really? Someone said to me the other day, would you pay 20 mil? Would you get him for 20 mil? I was like, I'd consider it. To be honest with you, I would consider it. Right. Big shout out as well to a man that just a serial winner. Antonio Conte. He is I just got a text from my girlfriend. She said, please don't text. Please don't text Leonie that she's ginger or ask if she's ginger. It's a valid question, isn't it? No? Okay. All right. I won't do it. Sorry, guys. I'm not allowed to. Yeah, I mean, Conte is just a machine. I'm trying to find the video. I've got a picture with him as well. I'm trying to find it. Of me and Conte when he was at Chelsea. This is pre-beard as well, guys. I'll be digging deep. But I do have a photo of it. If we dive back ever so slightly. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Oh my God. Do you want to see this? Have a look at this, guys. Don Conte. This is years back. No beard. Me and my brother with Antonio. Although I always felt like, to be honest, when he did get sacked, I thought it was too toxic. You know, like, I'll be honest. I'm not surprised that he left. He clearly wanted more investment than he got. Fair play to him. I don't blame you. You obviously want to, you know, have you want to have the best players. You want to have the best squads. Also, you would have thought we would have built more on the success that we had. We won an FA Cup, but you know, we really could have done more. And we were, you know, we brought in players like Morata and Zappacosta. Didn't really give us what we needed in order to push onto that next level. This is a great question, and I'm gonna educate you right now. Air 90 run. No, she doesn't. And the truth is, my friend, you shouldn't have to explain. It's like you don't have to explain why you need to eat. Everybody needs to eat, but some people need to eat more than others. You don't have to explain why you have to go to work to earn a living. Why do you have to explain what your hobbies are? It is a way of life. And if you watch every game, well, as long as you watch every game, then you're fine. The problem is if you skip a couple and then she goes, oh, you're not that serious. No, watch them all and you'll be fine. No, sorry, this is my time. This is Chelsea time. I'm guessing you're watching on the TV as well. Bakayoko as well, Ziggy. Fucking hell. He was rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Oh my God, I despise that player. Do you know who I really didn't like? I'll be honest. I didn't like Victor Moses. I know that he was good for us when we won the title, but in our second season, I thought he was dire. Just never enjoyed watching Victor Moses. Danny Drinkwater as well. God. And I live in Reading, near Reading. So I had the privilege of watching him in the Championship. And he was rubbish in the Championship as well. Every game, I make sure no plans are made around Chelsea games. Well, then you're fine, aren't you? You're fine, mate. Look, my mate Stevie, you might have seen him on Instagram, Stevie Proper Chelsea. What he does is, you know, he sets out his living room and basically he's got the flags everywhere. He's got the shirts hung up and it's fantastic. It's brilliant. And I don't think his missus is allowed in the living room when the games are on. Maybe that's what you've got to do. You've got to just go for it. Speaking of which, we've got over 120 of you in the building and we've got 65 likes. The target was 75, but the bar has raised. Can we get to 90 likes, people? 90 likes. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Smash the like button if you're not a fan of the players I just mentioned. If you are a fan, fair enough. I don't know what Bakayoko's up to these days. I haven't really heard anything about Bakayoko. I feel like he's still playing in France, in the French league, just for a small team. Would I take back Lukaku? No, I would not. Yes, there you go. So listen, this is our advice. If you don't let you watch the Chelsea games, if you're married, then this is going to cost you financially, but you will have your weekends back. You will have your midweek Champions League fixtures back. You'll have it all. And sometimes that could be worth more, depending on how much money you've got and whether you want to get divorced. So there you go. Aidan, that's interesting advice. Take that with a pinch of salt, obviously, if you really do love her. Maybe you'll just have to work it out. But she needs to understand Chelsea time is extremely important. He's a free agent. Fair enough. Well, we're not signing him, that's for sure. Jesus. Well, listen, guys, really appreciate everyone that's watched as well. Big up to yourselves. We're on 73 likes. Let's get up to 90 as well, guys. Generally speaking, the target's about 100 a stream. So if we can get up to 100, I'll be very, very impressed. But I appreciate you watching nonetheless, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I certainly have. We'll be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow going through everything. No, not 1 o'clock. I work. So I will. There won't be a lunch show. Just the evening show tomorrow. No lunch show, guys. And we will go from there. Big up to yourselves. Really appreciate your time, guys. And we will catch up very soon. Enjoy the rest of your